Welcome to another episode of Reseller Evolution. I am Scott.
I am Carl.
And how are you going, Carl?
Going well, thank you.
Good.
You?
Yeah, going good.
Good.
No, everything's fine. Can't complain. Um, I guess I can complain because the snow
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
we got dumped on there for a couple of days. Um, the cold's fine. It's the snow. It's a pain in the ass. You got to shovel it and everything else, right? So
And then you shovel it, and for those of you in warm climates, you shovel it, and then the plow comes by,
yeah,
and then puts a heavy load of snow at the end. And if you don't deal with that stuff, it turns into a rock.
I know. And I got in trouble yesterday because I didn't go clear the snow out on time. But I got the truck, so it don't matter to me.
Right.
I'll just go over it, but I don't know. I don't want to get into it because I got in trouble.
That's pretty funny because I think we just talked about this a few days ago about that hump offline. Oh well.
Yeah.
Put back in your place.
Yeah. It's not just me, apparently. It's
No.
everybody else too. I got to think about.
Yeah. Joys of Canada.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was talking to my parents, my sister, and like I showed them the nice backyard, and then my parents show me like palm trees and like
Oh, jeez.
warmth. And my
Yeah.
sister's like in Vancouver, so it's like it's gray skies, but at least
Snow?
there's no
What's
snow.
snow?
Yeah, we've forgotten. Yeah,
They do get a lot of rain though.
they do get a lot of rain. That's why I probably couldn't live in BC. From what I understand, is like half the years there's no rain, and half the year it's all rain. So
Yeah.
But-
It's weird. It's weird when there's a part of Canada that really doesn't get much snow. Like they might get do they even get snow every year, or do they get it like once every 5 years a little bit?
I don't know.
Like I know it snowed there before.
Oh, it's definitely snows. Yeah. Like, but it might be that like stuff that disappears and then they're just like, oh, look, snow.
Yeah.
It happened. Technically, we got it. You know, BC is one of those provinces too that's really like all of them, like really it depends where you are in that province.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because my buddy lives there, and I've been north up to Prince George and Mackenzie, up in that area. So I know. He's in Kamloops now, but yeah, they get snow for sure.
So that was the weather forecast for the week. Hope everyone's doing well.
The weather forecast or past cast?
Past cast, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had one of those fun things yesterday. I was already not having the best day, and then I get an email. It's like, you sent me the wrong thing. Oh, crap.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was that. They were very good, though. The customers were really good. It's like I sent them a stocking, like a Christmas stocking.
Yeah.
And I sent them the wrong one. I know exactly what happened. Like because they sent me a picture and it's like, oh, I know what I did. I picked up another one the previous week, and I must have had that in my hand, and I just chipped it off instead of going and getting the proper one.
Carl, you got one job.
I know, and I didn't.
Got one job, Carl.
I sent them something. It kind of looked like what they wanted.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal. They were. I said, just keep the one they have, and I'll send the new one. They're very content. So, like most customers are great, right? Yep. But it's not a big deal. It's just
as long as they
annoying.
message you before they complain.
Yeah.
Like, just work with me on it. Like, just don't feel that you're going to bully me into something. I'm already willing to do something. It's when you start complaining and try to push your way into something, I'm like, that's when you don't want to deal with it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because you've already said your point and made the thing a disaster, and why should I help you after that?
They were fine. They were just like, I got the wrong thing. Can you send me what I want, and I'll send you back the other one?
Yeah. So,
and I said, yeah, keep it. Here's the right one. And it's like, and lots of extra stories. I do lots of stories too.
And it's different when you know you screwed up.
Oh yeah.
Right. Or so, but compared to when you know they're just trying to get like a percentage off or something, right?
Yeah, I've rarely had that. I can't remember if I've actually ever had that.
What like send the wrong thing?
No, the where they wanted their percentage off.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming like
Maybe
I've
once.
had a guy complain about something didn't work and he wanted an amount off, right?
If they say it doesn't work, usually just give it to them. It depends, though. I did have someone
Well,
return a keyboard once.
yeah, so it was like
Yeah,
$145. It was a beer can motorized plane, and he said the motor didn't work.
yeah. In that case, I would probably have them send them back. Was it in Canada?
No.
Oh, yeah, I'm a bigger pain in the butt, but not
So
impossible.
he said it's still cool. But and then we got in the argument because I'm like, well, if you turn it upside down, because there's a compartment and it's hard to see. I said there's a battery that goes in there. And he goes, duh, I know. That was his comment. He even wrote duh.
Wow. Okay.
And then I'm like, all right, buddy, here we go.
It's
But
it's it's funny. Like one of the guys I watch, Matt. He's like that too. He's like, okay, fine, we're into it now.
yeah.
But I always do the sorry.
Well,
But
so I had a situation where it was it was an old bottle, like a soda water bottle or pop bottle. Um, what happened? So the guy was actually in Ontario. I could have just drove him the correct bottle, but so it was the exact same bottle but a different size,
yeah,
and I sent him the wrong size.
totally doable. Yeah.
And he told me about that. He goes, "Oh, I thought this was the bigger one. That's what it's advertising." I'm like, "Oh shit, I just sent you the wrong one." So I just sent him the other one. I told him to keep it. But I did that once, so I'm just saying I did that once too. But
Because usually it's not worth the.
yeah, it's like a $30 bottle. But what do I got into it? Maybe $1.
Yeah.
You know what I
And by
mean?
the
I saw it
time you
at a
pay for
yard sale.
shipping back and this way you also get a happy customer too.
Yeah, he was super happy. So,
So like they get something for free. So
yeah,
that usually makes them happy too. So, you know. Would I rather do that or have the possibility of a neg for a year? Like,
yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? But if they give you that negative right away, then you don't. Okay, if you
oh
don't
yeah,
want to, right?
no, no.
But
Thankfully they contacted me.
yeah,
But that does definitely happen to people. Like Serge was talking about that. He got an egg and they didn't even contact him first. And like, what are you supposed to do? Like, we're
yeah.
not we're not perfect here, right?
I wish, I wish eBay had like I don't know, maybe not. I don't know.
They do have something where they say please contact the person first.
They do, eh? Okay,
Yeah,
and then
but
three
they don't
days
have to.
after that, you can give a negative. You know what I mean?
Well, they just suggest it,
Yeah,
but that's better than nothing to me, right? Like they
for
might not
sure,
even
for
think
sure.
about it, or sometimes it's like, if you see it from the other side, sometimes they're afraid they're going to get screwed,
Yeah,
and then they get angry, and then they write in such a way that they don't really rational. Like
yeah,
I've always liked the saying, like, don't make decisions when you're angry or really happy. You wait till you're in the middle bit. But
yeah.
but this was good. The customer, like I said, was really good, and I'll send that off today, and it's not a big deal. I'll live. The only thing I'm wondering is like I want to use the Canada Post discount rate on eBay, and I wonder if it's going to think that I've shipped this late now because I have to go through the eBay system, and then I think when you put in the new tracking number, it might reset all that. But I'm going to take the chance. I don't think I have any negatives like for not reviews, but metrics on my
Magic.
account, so I can afford it.
Um,
So, but
yeah. I now mine was in Ontario. I'm assuming yours by your conversation is in the U.S.
it's in Canada.
Oh, it's in Canada.
Yeah.
I would just go to the post office and send it to him.
Oh yeah, yeah. I could do that. Yeah, but I want them. Yeah, I guess it's so cheap.
I know you want the discount rate, but like you're still getting paid for your item. So does it cover if you were to double ship it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, I just wonder, like, I'm not. I'm so used to. I didn't even think of doing that, to be honest. I'm just gonna look at my amuse
I,
everyone for a minute while I look at my performance service metrics. Uh, I have one return, and I don't even know what that's for. Doesn't match description or photos. I don't even know what that's for.
yeah,
Oh, can I
that's
click on that?
how does that not? How does it not represent description and photos? You know what I mean? Like to me, that's like I can imagine some people can get it wrong, but I know your site, I know your pictures, like
Yeah, I
so.
don't even know what it's referring to because I
Yeah,
don't think they opened a return or anything. No. Oh wait, how come it shows this?
I don't know
Oh, that's active listings. Yeah. Oh shit, I got the.
what's going on, Carl. The
Oh
audience is
man,
like, "What's going on, Carl?"
I'm just glad I knows this right now because I have the one that I sent her. I have it listed, so I'm just gonna get rid of that right now before I don't
Oh,
send it.
yeah, somebody else buys it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go in and buy it. What was it?
yeah. Screw you. End listing. Ha.
Wow, we
Woo!
just
I'm
saved
glad I knows
Carl.
that
We just saved you a problem, right?
because that would be a double thing. Like
Yeah,
you said the wrong one, and now you got like items not in stock. They kick you off. Your life is over.
yeah,
Okay, I'll deal with all this crap later. But I'm glad he knows that bit. Yeah, so that sucked. But that's it's gonna happen again. I can guarantee you that I
yeah.
will ship out the wrong thing again. So
Eventually,
yeah.
yeah. How's the booth?
It was you know what? It was dead that weekend. It was really cold. Uh and oh, you know what happens like is that I think there was a Comic Con or something like that, or whatever. There was like an alt competing thing. That really makes the market a lot quieter. But actually my sales were good. So the people who did come actually bought.
Yeah.
My trend line's going up for my average for Sunday, so I'm happy with that. So, and my friend John came and hung out. I made him take home some stuff that had been in the booth for like a year, and I took a bunch of stuff, my stuff that was in the booth for a year, and it's trying to like not theme up the booth, but kind of get rid of the odds. So I did a lot of that, because that stuff just doesn't have a demand, right? So like sometimes the temptation is like, oh, I have something that fills that spot. Why would I take it out? But
Yeah.
I find if there's a spot there, then there's a better chance I might actually bring something in to fill it. Where if I have something in there that's filled, even though it's garbage, I'll just leave it there, knowing me. So
So sometimes I find it just takes time, right? Like
yeah, but
so.
this is stuff I would never pick up nowadays. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. If it's stuff that shouldn't be there to begin with, then yeah, you gotta that stuff I move out to for sure.
Yeah, it's got to go. It's been a year. It had its chance. Time to go.
We had a really good Saturday. And then they thought, well, we're supposed to get a snowstorm, so they ended up closing the Sunday.
Yeah, of course.
And then the snowstorm didn't come. It was
Oh
just
no.
it was a fizzle. We had snow a couple days before that and a couple
Yeah.
days after that, but that 24 to 48 hours that they closed the store on the best day of the week on a Sunday, I just like, what are you guys doing? But, oh, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Um, because I'm like, if the Saturday runs into the Sunday, we got like it could be a really good weekend, right? Like,
Killer weekend. Yeah.
so, um, but what are you gonna do?
Water under the bridge now, I guess. But
Yeah. So anyway, I my concern on that too is like you're notifying the people that work there, but you're not notifying potential customers. So if they drive an hour to get there, thinking like, "Wow, it was supposed to snow today, but the sun's out and it's shining and nothing's falling. I'm gonna go to the antique store." You get there and they're closed.
yeah, that's why they want us to show up at the market. Uh,
Well, that's what
because
I thought. That's
and
my
they
thing.
wanted to do full hours. But honestly, everyone left at 3 on this Sunday, so no one paid attention. It's like I could
Well,
have stayed there, but I would have been the one person in the mall.
yeah,
So
but even if they open it and it starts snowing, then close it up. But at least give it a chance. Because how many times do we get these snow squall warnings and then nothing happens, right?
yeah, it can miss. Go a little bit north or south, and it misses. Yeah.
So anyway,
So Saturday was good though.
Saturday was over $500 day
Well, that's a
for
good.
me.
That's a really
For
good
me,
day.
so that's a good day. You know, a $300 day is decent, but anything over that is really good. So, um, so it is what it is. I guess I don't know what am I going to say, right? So, uh, eBay was going good there for a bit, and then I stopped listing again because I just got busy and sidetracked. And it's amazing how when you're listing, things are selling. When you stop
Yeah.
listing, things slow down. Um, but had a couple go out yesterday, which is good. Probably a few the day before, but you can just see less traffic, less watchers. Like everything just kind of slows, right? So
Traditionally, this is the slowest time for me on eBay. Is late January.
then technically I should be listing more. If it's slower in the sales, I should be listing. You know what I mean? Because I got more time to do that. So that's the theory, but it didn't happen. So,
Listing doesn't hurt no matter
yeah.
what.
But you know what, Carl? I was buying.
Oh, when you bought something, oh my
I
god.
was buying. Um, I think I bought. I think I went to two private picks since last week.
Yeah.
Right? I told. I think I mentioned on the show that I was going to go to one.
Yeah.
So I went to that one, and it was okay. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was like worth the trip. Um, I got a painting for $60. It's probably worth 150 to 200. Um, it's it has nothing to do with the image. It has everything to do with the artist.
Oh,
So,
that's interesting.
W. Edgar Cantillon, but he's a local guy, and he's quite his images are or his art is quite collectible. Um, I unfortunately got probably the lower end of his artwork,
Yeah.
where it's so he was a local guy and he would go to different places and he would paint watercolors. He would paint like a scenery or something, right? Well, mine is of a forest,
Oh no.
but it's not about him. It's not about the art. It's about him, right? So it's 150, but some of his stuff can get into the thousands, right? So like there's a museum that holds his art. They
That's
had
cool.
somebody was working on a book um about him,
Yep.
a local person, and so they were this is going back 3 years ago. So they were looking for people who had his painting so that they could put it in the book. But yeah, if it's got like animals or people or like a fair or something like that or a famous house or something, then it goes up. But um, so anyways, I mean, how do you pass it up? They wanted $100 for it, and I offered him 50, and he goes 75, and I'm like, dude, I said honestly, I said if it had a different image in it, I'd be all over it. But I'll bump it up to 60, but that's it. I'm gonna try to make a couple bucks off it too. So, and he was just clearing it out, right? So,
Yeah, paintings are like I had a painting in my cart yesterday, the Valley Village. And it's like I am denied because like often they just sell them for nothing, right? It's like
yeah,
$7. This is a hand painted on canvas picture, and it was from Italy, but it was like it was a tourist piece, you know. Like you ever go to any city and they have the guys at the front painting, you know, it's one of those, and it was very flat and it was colorful, but I didn't want that sitting in my booth forever, and it's like, I don't need this, right? In fact, if anything, I'm trying to get rid of things on the wall because they block spaces in front, you know?
Yeah, but don't ever like hey, listen. I shouldn't say that. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I
I'm with you.
never miss I never miss out on art. If it's cheap, I'll get it. But if it's something with provenance, like or mostly mostly around here, it's local. Like if it can look amateurish, it can look very childlike. But if it's an image of Dover, like I've sold paintings for $75,
Yeah.
right? Like, and it was so crude and very folk arty, but it was an image of Dover, and people go crazy to collect Dover stuff. But there's also local artists, and if you learn who they are, I would have had no idea, except for I've heard people talk about this guy, right? And I pay attention. There's another guy, and I've never found him, but he was an old captain, 1800s, 1860s. So he was kind of a. I heard the story about him, but I guess he was a bit of a drunken captain. I know from the 1800s. Can you imagine that?
I know, right?
You know, but,
Stereotype.
yeah, stereotype right there. But he was also one of those guys that was very well liked, and he was a bit of a character, which I'm sure they all were back then, right, compared to today. But he people would invite him to their home for a meal, right? And you got to remember, there's no TV, things are different, but he would sometimes make them an image, like a picture. He would do a
Right.
painting and different things for them in return for the meal. But anyways, my buddy had like the auction he works for. There was a picture of him holding one of these things back in October. It went for auction for $25,000, right? And the
Yeah.
guy's a local legend. Uh, Neelage is his name, Captain Neelage. So, but if you learn local artists, sometimes those things just locally can bring some good money. But
Yeah, that's really good advice.
and the funny thing is that this picture apparently came up from the U.S.
Oh, so okay. Came back home.
It came back home, but and I think the idea was it was Erie or something like that. And I'm like, well, that's just across the lake. If this guy was a captain of a ship, like a shipping captain, of course he would be in Erie, Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you just cross the lake and you're there. So I'm sure he had mistresses all over the place, like every port.
Okay.
So I mean, it could have easily had friends or whatever. Like it doesn't even have to be a mistress. I'm just trying to be funny, but if he was quite the character and outgoing, and he's probably had friends there, and
Yeah.
for sure, for like his paintings could be all across the lake, the Great
Well,
Lakes,
there's
right?
trade, right? So
Yeah. So, but if he's known for going to someone's house and having a meal and then painting for them or doing a little image for them, I mean, they're not big. They're like, I don't know. It was less than 8 by 10 sheet of paper. Like it was a little smaller than that. Just
yeah.
$25,000. There you go. Boom.
Jesus.
I know it's crazy.
He's probably rolling around his grave.
Yeah.
The meal wasn't even that good.
Yeah, but I mean, what was the price of a meal then? 10 cents. So it might have worked out. I don't know. Um, Inflation, but anyway, yeah. So anyway, I don't know. Kind of rambling on there, but just I never pass up art. Like if it's a print, I probably passed up some good prints, but I've
Mhm.
never passed up an original. I might have sold it for less than it's worth, but I would never pass up an original for $5 or less. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah. Well, if this wasn't a tourist piece, and it obviously was,
yeah,
I would have picked it up, right? But whatever. I know I'm not losing sleep over that one, but
yeah,
uh, I just want to make sure I'm not picking up art just because it is art. Because like you said, it has to be the right.
yeah.
Uh,
And for the most part, and I am contradicting I'm really not because, like I said earlier, I bought it because of his name.
mm,
But if it's original art and it's a forest scenery, yeah, I'm not gonna grab that. You know what I mean? Unless it's something unique or it's in a really nice frame, because the frames were $200 according to Dr. Lori. So if you
Right.
pick it up for a couple of bucks, right? No, but very rarely will I pick up like the ordinary forest scene, even if it is original. But if it's folk arty or it's just for the most part, I don't pass them up. That's what I'm getting at, you know. But I see forest scenes galore, so that I would pass that up a little bit, but for the most part, unless his name was attached. I don't know. Am I rambling back and forth,
You're
Dylan?
rambling a little bit, but
Okay.
it's okay.
I'm just trying to make sure. Well, you said this, and I'm like, well, I know I said this. This is why I'm saying this now. Like, you know what I mean?
No, our
I'm. Those are
commenters will
little.
attack you once they have a chance, right?
They're follow ups. Not everything is black and white.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Carl. But anyway,
Yeah.
so that was that pick. Got some decent stuff there. The prices, it's really funny because I'm gonna follow this up with another story, but it's really funny. You go to a place, not everything's great. There's a few decent things that I would like to have had, but the price was like very like higher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They almost like, well, I want a little more. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And then I go to another call, the last minute, which was Monday. I went to another pick, and these people called me because of my sign at the store. Well, I guess both of them did. No, the other one just came to the store and talked to Steph, but the one I went to on Monday, they saw my sign at the store. So she called, and I'm like, okay, well, what do you guys got there? No, she goes, okay, sorry, I'm getting everything mixed up here. She goes, I saw your train stuff at your booth and I saw this number. She goes, I really thought you would like train stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, well, I'll go take a look. But I wasn't expecting much. I'm thinking this is going to be a lot of toy trains. They're going to want lots of money for the stuff. And it's really hard to move. Even the high end stuff takes its time, right? And to put them online, you got to go through it with
Oh, yeah.
a magnifying glass to make sure nothing's broken. So, anyways, I get there. No, it's train stuff, but 2% is toy trains. Everything else is like high end friggin' train stuff. And I'm like, okay. So I'm getting signs. I'm getting stuff that isn't train stuff. But it's good. It's like, old general store scales. And dude, I'm going through everything. Most of it is train stuff, but like I got a binder full of, old photographs. I'm gonna go pick up today some train postcards. There's a sign I'm picking up today that's going to be worth good money. I filled my truck up for $1,000, dude.
Wow.
Like it was, yeah, and it's like craziness. Two books, but they're the same book. Hold'em and Norfolk County Atlas. If you have the original, I've sold for $450, but that's late 1800s. That's an old book. But if you get the repops, these ones are 1972. They do get a little bit newer too. I still get 125 for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just repops. They're reproductions of that older one. Uh, geez, where do I got a digital camera. It's $165 Canon digital, like
Nice.
super shot something. I got a bayonet from World War One, German, and I have a bayonet World War Two, Japanese. They're worth about $400 a piece.
Wow.
Yeah. I got a Michelin. I got like, dude, I got so many oil cans and just burners and
Burners?
books, like kerosene, but they're about 35 to $50 a piece.
Okay.
There are some that are made in Canada, in Brantford. These ones are made in the US, and they're all seem to be the same, but I think I got like 5 of these, so $50 a piece. You know what I mean? is
They're
what they're
kind of
gonna.
hard to describe.
So how you want to describe them? Definitely put the name on them, but it's just a railroad kerosene burner. There's going to be different types, but if you put the name that's embossed here, you're
Yeah, I meant
going to.
describe for the audience.
Oh, describe for the audience. So they're a square, about an inch, 2 inch thick, and they're just kerosene burners. But they're for railroad. I guess they would. There's a hook. There's a little loop on them that you would kind of hook onto something,
They kind of look
and
like a square canister, silver canister
but
with
it would
the burner on top.
probably in like a room where the engines were or something like it's it's not what the passengers would have seen.
No,
You know
no,
what I
no.
mean?
It utilitarian.
Yeah. So, but dude, I mean, I could go on and on and on. Like, I got a station master hat, and it's old. Like, it's got to be 40s or older. And then I got all the badges for a porter, CNN or CN porter, CNR. Um, I don't even know whether I got some fishing lures, some wooden ones, some old ones. Just goes on and on and on, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I filled the truck up. I couldn't get any more in the back, and then I in the back box of the truck, and then I filled up the entire back seat, and then a couple of the more delicate stuff went in the front seat. So, and there's still stuff in the truck. So, it was probably the top 5 picks that I've ever been to, and it could be the top 3. You
Oh
know what I
wow.
mean? Like, I'm going back again. It just and it's one of those things where we walked in the garage, and it was kind of like there was a little pathway to the back, and the guy was so proud that he was like, this is my interpretation of him being proud, but he was like, when I opened this door, it was jammed right to the whole garage was jammed. And he goes, I finally got it so that we can kind of see what we're looking at, and there was a path to the back. He goes, we just threw everything else out. I'm like, dude, that's where the gold was what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
threw out. I get into the house, and the woman inside's like, yeah, she goes, I know it looks messy, but you should have saw what it was. We just had to start throwing things out. And I'm like, oh, like,
I know.
and I can't fault them for it, but I'm like,
What was gone?
what's gone, right? Like, what is it that's gone? But anyway, it is what it is. I couldn't put any more in the truck, and I didn't really know what kind of number they were gonna come back with. You know what I mean? But so I might have picked a little harder if I knew I was going to get a good deal and just lump it all up, right? So
So they came up with the number.
no, I did.
You did.
Yeah. Um, he hummed and hawed. He goes, I think you're being fair. And my whole point was like, listen, dude, I'm selling it at a certain price because I have a location that draws those people in, but I gotta pay to be at that location. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm looking at they're taking 25, 30%. I know you could say the 13%, but I pay rent. And by the time you average that in, give them the whole spiel, like I always said. And I said, this stuff isn't clean. Like, some of it's dirty.
Yeah.
I gotta research some of the stuff. I said, I'm taking in all that. I said, you're just selling it to me as is. I gotta go and clean it up to sell it to someone who's gonna pay a higher price. I said, so I just gotta be compensated for the work. And I said, I appreciate you inviting me into your house. I said, but this is my number. And he hummed and hawed, and he agreed. So it's fine.
And obviously you're going back, so it couldn't have been that bad.
That's right. Well, I'm going back mainly because there was a nice porcelain sign there that I wanted. And he said he wanted to see if his son wanted it because his grandfather worked at a post office. It's an enamel post office sign. And it's an older one. And he was at a location local to our area, but he got it when he worked there, like he retired there. Um, so it's kind of like a family thing, but nobody else wanted it, but he wanted to double check with his son. So he said, if his son doesn't want it, it's mine. So So I'm going to pick that up today. So
Nice.
um, and some postcards too. So she said she had some on the train stuff. So I said, well, I'll pick it up. I'll pick that up too. Um, and then there's some train books, and they said if you take the train books, you can have them for free, but you have to take them all.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
Okay.
don't know. Is there money? Is there money stuffed in them? Maybe I'll think about it. But um, just a phenomenal pick. I could go on and on and on because I'm so
Yeah.
happy with what you get, but that's not going to make a good show if I just talk railroad stuff. But
Oh yeah. Well, that's awesome. Like you never know, right?
you never know, and some of the stuff is like there's a ton of $30-$40 stuff,
Yeah.
right? But some of the stuff does get very, very well. Like, I mean, those two bayonets, German and the Japanese one, like
Will that be a
$400.
local sale?
Yeah, I'm not going to put them online. I'll
No.
just put them in the booth. They'll sell in the booth. Everything sells in the booth. I put like chintzy souvenir type like swords that you just hang on the wall, and I'm getting $85. These are actual like
Real ones.
real ones, right? Um, so yeah, I'll have no problem selling them out of the store. And that's another thing too, like that you like the store for, is because it gives you those options, right? So like I don't even know if Facebook Marketplace would let you put that stuff on there. They definitely won't let you put pellet guns. And these things are a lot more dangerous than a pellet gun, unless you're going to use the pellet gun as a bat. But
Well, you could use a bat as a bat. Huh.
but that's
Wow. Well, that's awesome.
yeah.
Right?
Lots of stuff though, dude. I can't even put it into work. There's $1,800 or sorry, $1,800, 1,800 like log books for trains from the 1800s.
Yeah.
There's from the 1930s and 20s. There's freight receipts. They might be $10 a piece, but there's got to be 100 of them. You know what I mean? They're just
Yeah.
stuffed in this folder. Um,
So how
they're
did you come up with the price? Did you like have a little book and you kind of, or do you do it all in your head?
Well, because I limit to what I can take out on my bank. Like I just have a limit on it. Um, and so I pulled out money the night before, and I pulled out money that day. I'm like, I'll just throw $1,000 at him because that's all I have access to right now. I can always e-transfer, but I didn't want to get into that mess. But so I'm
Did I
like,
tell you I have the stupid e-transfer already? Did I mention this?
no,
So someone tried e-transferring me a couple weeks ago at the booth, and it didn't go through. So they paid with their credit card, and then now this e-transfer is trying to go through. So I'm just ignoring it. But I'm not 100% sure that's what it is, but I'm 99% sure that's what it is. So
yeah.
I don't know this way. I'm scared to click it because I don't want to accidentally accept it for something
Well,
they've
it'll
already
ask you
paid
if you
for.
want to accept it. I think, doesn't it?
So, sorry?
Does it ask you if you accept this?
I hope so. I'm just scared to. First, I thought it was spam, but then I realized, I don't think this is actually spam. And then it's like, oh, this makes sense because it never went through, but obviously it did. It's kind of scary, eh?
Yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted. But yeah, okay. So you had $1,000, so you're like offering $1,000.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. He showed
Dining
me a
car
little.
steward. Like this is like a cap badge. So this is. I'm just seeing here that somebody paid $22 for years ago, but this is like a $50-$60 piece.
Yeah.
I got a
It's
couple
a
more. I got a couple more that's going online, but it's
good
just
stuff.
insane, dude.
It's
Just
good stuff.
it's
Yeah.
good stuff. Like really good stuff that people are going to have a huge desire for.
Yeah.
Now there's a fair amount of kind of stuff out there, but I mean, I got headlights for a train.
Yeah.
Right now, the glass is cracked, which is which is like turns my stomach in a way, but it's still there. But they go over like $2,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I didn't even know what they went for. I just figured this has got to be something. So he had two of them, and I'm like, well, I'll take the one with the cover, even though it's cracked. You know, I'm gonna point out the bad stuff. It needs a good cleaning, blah 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 blah. And then we get into the house, and I'm like, shit, do I make an offer on this one, or do I just like throw it in the pile? Like, what am I going to do with this, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to act like it's not important to me. So when I paid him the cash, I still had $20 left. So we're clearing everything out to the truck. And I'm like, I'd really hate to buy one and then leave the other one behind. I said, let's take another look at it. I said, I don't even really know what it's for or how much it's worth or anything. So I just want to take another look at it. And it was in a nearby room, so we went and looked at it. And I said, do you even know like anything about this? And he's like, well, let me do this. And he Google Lensed it. I just cleaned house, and I'm like, they must not have Google Lensed anything, dude. Like,
Yeah.
serious, right? So, but he knew how to operate it, and he Google Lensed it, and it came up. What did it come up like? It was a huge range, like $500 to $2,000, or it might have been $3,000. And I said, oh, and then I'm thinking, oh my god, why did I do this? Because now he's gonna want the other one back, or you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I said, oh, well, I have $20 left. I was gonna offer you $20 for it, but he goes, I'll take it. And I'm like, well, that's kind of where I am, because I'm like, I don't know who's gonna buy this or whatever. And I said I'm thinking I'm gonna get $100 for it. So if you
Yeah,
want
and
to,
I don't trust everything that comes back with like
yeah.
Google
And
Lens
then
anyways.
he goes, you might only get 50 for it. And I said, well, $20 right in my proper range if I got 50. So I said, I'm happy if you're happy. He goes, we're just happy to have the stuff out of the house.
He's like, I would give it to you for
Yeah,
free.
yeah. So anyway, so that's it. So obviously now I gotta go to the bank machine and go back there again today, because I'm sure there's still stuff there.
Oh yeah.
Besides that sign, like I'm thinking there's other stuff. So
Nice. Wow, that's amazing.
yeah, yeah.
That'll keep you busy. You're so short on inventory.
Don't even start, because like Steph's already losing her mind.
Oh wait, you didn't sneak it inside? That's what I do. I just like if I come home and I don't even if I come home and I don't even say anything, I just go straight to the basement. You know,
She knows.
Oh, she knows.
She,
Yeah. It's like when kids are quiet. It's like, what's going on?
yeah. So I'm saying Amy knows. Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah, if I sneak into the stuff right into the basement, yeah.
Yeah, she knows. What are you doing?
Nothing.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you pay attention to you. I'll pay attention to me.
Look.
Yeah, you look over there. There's something behind you.
You know, the thing is, like, especially when you get my age, like, we've had kids.
Yeah.
Like, so acting like a kid isn't gonna get one by stuff. You know what I mean? So
No.
she knows, like, so that would be, I still try. I guess it's just the boy in us there, Carl, right? I don't know.
It's funny. We know we're doomed, but we're gonna do it anyways.
We're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So anyway, yeah, dude, it's just awesome. It's just awesome. And to see the signs and stuff like that, it was just stuff that I don't really see that much. You know what I mean? Or at all. Or you might see one or two pieces and they want $1,000 for everything, because it's like one of those things. Well, you have a whole bunch. Like, I've been kind of collecting my cameras for a while. And when I see a camera for $1 or $5 and I know it's worth $200, I'm like all excited. But when I have 10 of them sitting on a shelf, I'm like, oh my God, there's cameras. You know what I mean? I got to
Yeah.
deal with them. Like when you just have so many, even though
I
they're valuable, you kind of like it becomes an issue more than it does like,
It does. I can see 3 just sitting here, and each of those are definitely worth over $100, if not 200 each.
yeah.
No, but they're
It's
so hard because they're so small, and I bought
yeah,
one yesterday, right?
yeah.
So not $100 one, but $90 one, $80 one. So it's like, yeah.
Dude,
But
it's just crazy, but it's a mental thing. It's like, and I think that's what they had. They knew there was some value here, but they had so much of it that it becomes a burden more than a value. Unless they're bars of gold and silver, like it's a burden, right?
I'll yeah. If anyone feels that gold and silver is a burden, I'll come and help.
Yeah, yeah. For free, I'll take this out. Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, this is another thing he had. The garage was full of tools, right? He had
Yeah.
two, like they got to be 6 foot cabinets on wheels. Snap on was the cabinets. So I'm assuming that most of the tools were in there. I didn't even look at the tools. Like I was so I'm thinking I'm going to go back and I'm going to see the layout today and see what's going on there. But I'm almost thinking saying, listen, for $500, I'll take everything in this garage and I will clean it. Like it'll be broom swept clean and emptied. But
When's your divorce?
that's the problem. I don't really have the room for that.
No.
You know what I mean? But it would be so worth it. It'd probably take me about 2 or 3 days to clean it if I had something to, like I even talked to Steph about getting a storage unit just to pile this stuff in there, right? But I'm like, I'm just burning it away because I got stuff here I need to deal with. Why am I getting a storage unit and then have
Yeah.
to deal with that first? Like, really, my goal needs to be I've got the winter to deal with this stuff because once yard sale season comes in there, which is really only a few months away, I'm I need to have room. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but dude, like snap on tools, like you can have 35, 50, $60, like
I
the
know.
size of a, you
Sockets
know,
and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, like
I might have a bag of them over there.
yeah, I have a bag of them I have 2 bags of them at the antique booth, but they're not selling at the antique booth.
Hmm. Maybe. Yeah.
Like
I'm not sure.
I've sold I've sold old tools there, but obviously they're in a metal toolbox and I probably put $30 on them. I have $100 on snap-on sockets and they're probably, I don't know, $200 worth of sockets there if I
Yeah.
was
For the
there.
snap-on sockets, that's what I have too. I'm gonna put them online, just because they're small and easy to ship.
Yeah, I'm going to have to put them online. So because they're just not selling there and I'm not going to budge lower. If it's 50% off already, I'm not going lower,
Yeah.
right?
Why would you? Yeah.
Yeah. But I I just threw there was 2 bags and I just thought let's just see how they do, but people aren't buying them. And I've sold like I had a torque wrench that was snap on. I sold it there for $75 or something like that. Like it was very I think it's worth 100 and I sold 75, but I mean to me that was still a good deal. Like I was happy with that. But dude, I just don't even know what to do. Like do I make that offer and then just bite the bullet? But I'm gonna have to put all the tools in buckets, and I like to bring it in the house. Steph is gonna lose her mind, so I'm thinking putting it in buckets and just wrapping it with like a plastic tarp to keep
No. No. I know where you're going.
it. It's like I'm thinking
No.
if she sees that along the side of the fence, would
No.
she get upset?
No.
Dude, I've already got it all planned out. Like I've
Uh,
already thought about it. You
I
called me
already
and
knew where you were going. No, don't
don't
do
do
it.
it. But it's just money sitting in this.
Yeah, but you got money in the house. I understand though. I'd be on the same conundrum, right? You just don't like someone else will get it.
Yeah, somebody else will get it.
Do you know? And it's not like you know anyone around there yet, right? Well, I
But
guess you know a couple of guys, but You
Well,
don't want to give it
I'm
up.
inviting someone that I know to come with me today
Oh, okay.
to
Okay.
take a look. Um, they said I would just love to come and see what's going on there, what's there. Maybe if you're missing something, I hope. I said, buddy, bring some money. I said, I just don't have room to buy anymore. I said, so he's going to meet me there if he can get it, if work allows it. So, which he was pretty confident would, but
Okay.
so
Okay, you're
anyway,
doing that already. That's good. That's good.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, he's the one that put me to the toy soldiers, right? So like, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's set me up with some good picks. So I I I hope he finds some gold, to be honest with you, because he's been good to me. Um so anyway, I don't know what else to say, but that's about that pick. That was a beauty. It was a beauty.
Nice.
But
I haven't heard back from mine, which I'm not that surprised about. I'm in no rush either because there I have enough shit here to be honest. So
dude, I got way too much stuff here. Like it's insane.
I could
So
spend a year probably listing all this
yep,
stuff.
for sure.
So and I get really discombobulated if it gets too messy, and I already have bins to the ceiling right behind me. So I gotta hold back a little bit, or donate shit, or both.
Well, I I mean it's not the time of year for it, but I was
Like I
I
go.
was I
Sorry, go
was
ahead.
I was satisfied with the result of the yard sale.
Yeah,
Um, it's a catch 22 because most of the stuff that I sold, I made money on, but I didn't have to bring out my best stuff. But there
no,
was some stuff in there that I'm like, geez, like I know this is 65. Why am I selling it for 20? And then I'm like, well, by the time everything else comes off, like, what am I making? Another 10, $15? Like, so just be, if I paid $1 for it and I'm getting 20 for it, let's just be happy with that. You know what I mean? Which I really didn't even have $1 until the one thing that I'm thinking of right now, because it came with a bunch of stuff that I've already made I'm into the profit. I like, it was just a bulk buy of everything. So, so I was, my point is, rather than donating it, like I'd like to give at least that option. Have you ever thought about doing a yard sale, Carl?
I hate them. No, no. It's
I
it's
hate
like
them. No.
honest because you know why? I'd rather just donate the stuff.
Yeah.
I'm more of a. It's funny. I asked ChatGPT. It said I'm more of a sniper.
Sniper.
Yeah.
Um, dude, I've been hearing some stuff about ChatGPT and how a lot of people our age are not sorry about AI in general, not just singling out ChatGPT. Um, are turning to it for advice and all sorts of stuff, and I'm like, that's my buddy Carl right there. Like, you know, like so.
I
It
was
was so
asking it
you
for
how they
advice.
described it, dude.
I was asking for advice just last night.
Yeah.
So it and I take it like anything, anyone's opinion, right? Like I'll ask your opinion on stuff or other people. I won't necessarily go with that opinion, but I will take that into consideration, right? Or maybe there'll be something you haven't thought of. And when
Well,
people say, "Oh, it's not that great," they haven't used it right. you
well,
know.
I was on ChatGPT and I gave it my opinion, and now it's asking for my opinion. So
Okay. So your opinion is getting to me. It's just coming
yeah,
through.
it's cycling through
It's cycling
ChatGPT
through.
to
Yeah,
everyone else.
that's funny.
Like,
Yeah, it's so
uh,
good. It's not perfect for sure.
yeah.
Like I'm having it, I'm getting that telescope, right? I think I mentioned this. So I want it to tell me only when there's good viewing weather, right? And I said, don't tell me when it's not good viewing weather. Every day it's telling me the viewing weather no matter what. And then I said, I told you not to tell me when it's bad. And it's like, oh yeah, you're right. And the next day it does the same thing. So it's like, you little shit. That's what I say. But it's still, you gotta do it. What was I using it for? Like my stupid car, right? Did I mention this already? I can't remember. My brain is Swiss cheese. But
I don't know. I don't know.
it's over enthusiastic in the use the defogging aspect of the car, right? And defogging turns on the AC, right? So when it's really cold, I'm like sitting there with a fucking AC. Sorry, everyone. I did swear. Sorry. It'll put the AC on. It's like, stop it. It'll go back and forth between the heating and the AC. And I know there's a fix for this, but every time I Google this, there's like 5 pages of BS without the real answer, right?
I
When
think
with ChatGPT, it just gave me the answer and it freaking worked, and that was it.
I think you told me this on the phone, but I don't think
Okay.
we
Yeah.
said it
Okay.
on the.
So, anyways, it was just so nice just to get just give me the answer.
Yeah.
Not all the extra stuff. And then like the nice thing is you can also tell it how to answer you, right? Like if you want the verbose stuff, you can do that. If you want it just like quick answers, you can do that, right? I do a bit of both. I do get sick of it saying, "Oh, that's a great idea" for almost everything I say. I need to cut off my right foot. Well, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
It got really worried about me yesterday. It started sending me like suicide numbers. It's like, dude, that's not that bad. But what I think that is that there was a bunch of issues in the past, and so anything which is not positive, it freaks.
Let's clarify it. Not issues with you, but issues with the public in general.
Yeah, with some
Yeah.
people who had used the system in the past, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well,
so now it's overly, cautious.
I think from what I'm hearing is that people are becoming attached to it, almost like it's a friend.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
And then I think like I don't know. I apologize if I offending anybody with my interpretation, but I'm thinking that if you're and I'm thinking, so I don't know, but if you're in that state and you kind of gravitate too deeply to something like this and then it disappoints you or turns it responds in a way that is upsetting or triggering type thing, like it can really, so I think people in those mindset can just be set off a little bit by something that it says. So
yeah, they're saying that like.
I hope I said that not too badly, but I'm
No,
just
I think that's right. Like if you're prone to that, like I've heard that about like sometimes we can, if you're prone, you could have psychosis with it, which is a very small percentage.
Yeah.
But there are those people, and it doesn't mean we should ban weed, but you have to be careful of that, right? So
Yeah.
And I can see why people would get lost into it, because it's kind of designed in a way to talk to you back like a person, right?
Yep.
Like it'll say, "Oh, I'm worried about this," or it'll say, "Like I'm really happy for you," and it's not happy for you. It's just saying that, but you could convince yourself that it's real. Like there's been times where it's like I've said thank you because it's like, "Oh my god, you just saved me so much time," right? But anyways, I like it. But
sorry, Dave, but it's for your best interest that
I
we
can't do that, Dave. Open the Dave doors, Dave. Open the Dave doors. Yeah. But, anywho,
yeah, very interesting stuff. I mean, I started that YouTube channel. We've talked about it a little bit, but it's AI generated, and I'm amazed, dude. I really am. Like, I'm amazed at how it can do things and how fast and relatively accurate. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you might have to rephrase your questioning a couple times, but it's so quick. It's so
quick. Yeah.
And once you learn what it needs to be told or prompted, it goes even faster.
Yeah.
Right.
We said before, like you have to ask it how to ask it to do something, and I did that actually with the weather thing I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It didn't work. We'll see if I get reminded again today after I said, "Hey, we already did all this," but but you're right. It the hardest part is when you want to alter something with it. I find is that it's hard to make small changes to it without altering other stuff at the same time.
Well, and it's funny that you said that just after you said that you had to ask a prompt for you to prompt it. You know what I mean? And I was dealing with that, and I'm like, listen, I just put, you keep repeating the same thing, and I'm asking for a change. How can I correctly, like, give me a correct prompt to ask you so that you change it the way
And it's so
So
funny, eh?
it's so funny. Like how do you have to do this step if you understand that I want the changes and you're able to prompt me for those changes? Why don't you just like skip that step and just change it? But it
One
give
day,
me a
maybe.
prompt.
Yeah.
It actually give me a list of different things I could prompt it, and I kind of chose, I don't know, 5 or 6 different options. But it give me options based on maybe where I want to go with it and for it to better understand. It basically was almost a copy and paste. Like I copied
It
it,
is.
I
Yeah.
took out a few words, and then I
Yeah.
just let it
Yeah. It
go.
is. It is. It gives you it gives you the text to copy and paste back to itself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's and then it was fine, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that now you understand. That's
Yeah.
better.
That damn well works. You're like, what the hell?
And,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
when I first started, you don't know that kind of stuff. You're just
No.
trying to figure it out, and
Like for me, the
and
classic
then
one is when it couldn't do math. I was so shocked.
yeah, that's
So I
still
had to,
shot. I never actually went in to test that, but
so I had to tell it to code it. Like, how do I get this to work? And it gave me the answer, and then it worked fine. But I didn't trust it after that.
you did or didn't?
Do not
Okay.
for math stuff because it's like if I'm not double checking, right? But I do use it for my Excel sheets, right? But the funny thing is, like, I take that picture and then it gives my counting, but it doesn't always work. So I have to go back to an old conversation where it did work, put the picture in there, and then it'll work fine in that one. So it
Huh.
is each conversation does seem to have its own, like each, I say conversation, but each kind of like tab, I guess. Each instance of conversation seems to be has separate things in them. It's like magic to me, but
Yeah.
yeah. So there's something else that happened this week. I don't. Hopefully, you want to talk about it since I'm asking about it.
I don't have a
Something from
problem.
your past.
For me?
Very curious about the past.
Oh, the TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Do the people on this channel know about that? They would have on the other channel, but that was so
Uh,
long ago.
yeah, we've been doing this a long time. I think, yeah, you mentioned doing the show, but that's changed a little bit.
I guess I could.
Hopefully you want to talk about this. I just
I don't
assumed you did.
care.
You
Like,
don't
I
care?
mean, so I think we've talked about it on the show because I think we brought Randy into the
Yeah.
conversation because it
Yeah,
was
we
out
definitely
there.
did, I think. Yeah.
So I can leave a link to it. But so there was a small production crew. They were being, I don't know how to properly say this. They were It was a production crew that was separate from Eastlink, but Eastlink was one of their clients.
Yeah.
And so that's how they ended up coming to Simcoe because through Eastlink, we went to the Eastlink building where they had a small little studio thing set up for filming. And the first thing was with the like an antiques thing, so it was the past of the curious.
Yeah.
Um, so when I went there, we did a filming
Yeah.
of antiques, and then I guess I was in a position of a host, although there was multiple hosts, and my what I was hired to do was to do 6 different items and describe them and give some history on them and appraise them, and and the person would have came in with that item and they would have said how they found it and all this other stuff. So anyway, um so when I was doing this, it was season 7, and season 1 to 5 just came up on Prime, like Amazon. So season 7, I'm like, when am I ever going to see this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's
And we're all like, Scott, it was all in Scott's head.
well, first of all, you film it, and then they got to go to editing, which takes about a year
Yeah.
before it airs because they go through editing and all this other stuff, and then I don't know. We filmed it probably in a June-ish. I don't know, March, April, May, June. I don't know, something like that. I think so. We filmed it, and then it takes like almost a year to edit it and everything, and then whenever their next season is. So it was over a year before it even aired, and then it was another year or so, and I'm like, it got on Amazon, but season 7 hasn't even come out, so they can't put it on Amazon because I think they have. I don't know. I'm just assuming that they have to fulfill Eastlink before they're the ones that really kind of funded this thing. So anyway, make a long story longer. Um, it somebody posted on YouTube the whole season.
Yeah,
So,
Eastlink did.
Eastlink did.
It's Eastlink, yeah.
So so the episodes are up. So I called Carl and I said, look, finally, like, because I don't know if he believed me or not.
No, I didn't. I thought it was all bullshit.
Yeah, so it's there. Um, I think the following year they came back and they did a show on dogs. It was in their 4th or 5th season as well, but it's not something that I know what to talk about. They had other like dog trainers and stuff come in and talk. Um, but they asked me if I'd help work on the set and stuff because they liked I don't know, I guess they liked me, I don't know. But anyway, so I helped them on that set too, so which was fun. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It
So
was
the
fun.
show is up. The show is up.
So the show is up. It's
Right.
there. It's I don't know why they would have posted it on YouTube unless I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but
So it's
I'm
on
hoping it gets to because it was there were I don't know. There was talk about Tubi, there was talk about Amazon. So I don't know if Amazon and Netflix would have had an issue with each other, but it's up on Amazon. But it's just my season. The season that I was on there isn't up on Amazon. It's up on YouTube.
So if you go to East Link, you'll see it. It's called The Past and Curious, and it's season 7. That there's some episodes that Scott's on.
Yeah,
And,
I'll put the links. I'll put the links to the episodes that I'm on because I think there's 13 episodes and I'm on 6 of them or something.
yeah.
So, and if you don't know who I am, you're not going to be able to, or what I look like you're not going to be able to pick me out. So, I guess they do say my name, but um, I'll put the 6 episodes that I'm on.
Yeah.
I'll just put links to each episode, and you might have to like I think there's every episode shows 3 different items, and I'm only showing 1 item on each of those episodes, 6 episodes. So
Yeah. Yep. So if you want,
but it was fun, you know.
yeah.
So just to set people clear on the robot one, which is my favorite because that was my robot. So we kind
Yeah.
of because I offered it to the show and it was so unique and stuff. They liked it, and so we set it in such a way that my girlfriend Stephanie, they made her look like she was the buyer and brought it in. But we had fun with that one.
It's
But
fun. I watched that one, and I watched the one with the a furnace thing, heater.
oh my god, the furnace thing! I'll tell you something about that one off the air.
Oh no, sorry everyone. Anyways, go check it out. It's fun.
Yeah,
It wasn't all in Scott's head, so we can stop that rumor mill.
yeah.
Good.
We actually watched one of them last night, and Steph was giving me a hard time. There's one with the water pump, the cast iron water.
I haven't seen
pump.
that one yet. I just watched the 2 so far.
And Steph goes, "How do you know so much about a stupid water pump?" And I'm like, I studied for all this stuff.
Wow,
Like,
the first time in his life.
yeah, there was so much stuff cut out. Like,
Yeah.
I studied so I knew each item inside and out. And you might be able to, if you're an editor, you could recognize the cuts, but they cut so much of the information out. But to me, it was important, especially on the one, because the person thought it was from the 1800s and they had it appraised at $10,000 or more. And they were told it was something different than what it was. So I had to walk them through why it was something different and why I don't believe it's from the 1800s, right? But they left a lot of that kind of stuff out. They briefly touched on the staples and the I don't know, I guess the like the red cloth and stuff, but really it was the back of the item which determined to me to be not 1800s but to be between 1920 and 1950, right?
Right.
And it's hard, and I overpraised it, but this guy comes in here, he brought his stuff, and he's thinking it's a $10,000 piece that he bought off a antique dealer. And I had to explain to him that it's not what you were told it was. It's something a little different. It's close, but I mean, it's still different. It's not as old as he told you, and it's not as valuable. Like, I'm thinking it's probably 800 to $1,000, but I probably doubled that. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
tripled it even, like
You
just to
don't.
kind of make them feel a little bit
Yeah.
easier. And
Yeah.
I wish I didn't do that. I wished I was straight up with
Well,
my thoughts. But I could have been wrong too. Like, it doesn't mean I'm right,
no.
but you can appraise it at something and then there's selling it for something.
Yes.
I could have put it at $1 million, but it would never sell. You know what I mean? So if you're looking at selling it, this is what I should have been a little bit more really. That was the only one, but the guy was a nice guy, and I'm like, I don't know, I can't break his heart all like in all categories, you know.
Yeah, I get it. And this is shows about entertainment too,
It's
right?
about entertainment, but everything else is pretty much bang on. But it's just I didn't know who this guy was, and he was a good, seemed like a nice. Him and his wife were there, and they seemed like very.
The
I
funny
just
ones are like when they have a story of this being in their family for 150 years and it was only made 50 years ago. Like
yeah,
not in your show, but you see that out there, right?
yeah,
Like this is it's like yeah, this company didn't even exist.
and 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 there was another girl that brought in these books, and they were like wrecked, man. Like they
Yeah,
were. When you say condition, 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 this is like I don't know, horrible condition. But she thought she had a piece of gold, and I know she thought I was full of shit. And I know I've sold these things before, and there's so many out there. Like that one I could not bullshit because it would have been the other one. Nobody would really have a clue. It's kind of whatever you could sell it for makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
But these ones, these books, I'm like, I had that book collection. There was tons of these in there, and I know exactly what they go for. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
condition is everything. But she thought she looked it up on eBay, so she knew. Well, yeah, it's your books are like moldy and ripped, and the covers are half torn off. You know what I mean? And I'm not putting her down. Like I'm making fun of it because it's us, but in reality, I think we've all been there, and
oh yeah, it's
we've
really
all been there.
difficult, right?
You
Like even with us, like I'll comp something, get it home, and then I realize, oh,
yeah,
there's a flaw here, and I don't want to admit it.
yeah. That's kind of where I'm going with it too. And but I know 100%. Like she was just misunderstood. She misunderstood what it's about. So yeah, so that there's that episodes in there too. So
So if you want to see some awkward ones, there's some awkward ones too.
well, they didn't they the way they
They cut
edited
it
it,
out.
there
They
was
cut it
there
out.
was no awkwardness,
But
but
you know the backstories. Everyone knows the backstories
yeah,
now.
because there's a green room too, right? We all have
Yeah.
to kind of sit there together. So I know that there wasn't happy, but I think she because there's a part of the show where we talk about, hey, what are you willing to sell this, or did you want to sell it? Well, at the
Yeah,
proper
that
time,
was funny. I
So,
saw that bit, and it's like I just knew. Like, yeah, right. He's gonna pay that.
so she's probably like, this guy just wants to scoop them for free,
I
right?
know. And you're
So
like, this is just for the show. I wouldn't actually give you this money.
yeah, exactly, 100%. Um, but it's something they do ask. They want us to say to them.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, hey, there was a guy like he came down from Brantford, and he is belongs to a band. It's a local band. It's not like a. I think they do a lot of like rock. Like the couple episodes I saw of his band at concert in, I can't even remember the name of the band now, but it's like a local band. But man, they were good. They did a
yeah,
lot of ACDC, a lot of hard rock. So he brought his guitar in, and I did a lot of research on that guitar too. But it was pretty good. But I wish I would have kept in touch with that guy, because I would have went to one of his, like, they don't do concerts in front of big stadiums, but they do have venues and or in bars where they
yeah,
promote, and they bring in a following.
yeah.
But man, like, they were my kind of music, you know what I mean? So it would have been like I probably should have reached out and kept in touch with some of these people. But anyway, that was it. A couple other episodes in there too, but they were fun. I would do it again if they came back to do it again, but I don't know. They haven't come back. There was some politic reasons that came into play, like
Yeah,
not government politics, but internal stuff.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
from local people and stuff. So I don't. I probably should cut this out. I shouldn't even get into that. But there was things that I have a feeling that that's why they haven't come back. Um,
Still, it's a good thing to put it on your resume, man.
yeah, that was mostly built around the doggy show is when that happened. So,
Yeah,
um, so we'll see.
cool.
Um,
So you'll put links into that, and if people want to check it out, they can go check it out.
yeah, I'll do the 6 episodes that I was on.
Yep.
And if you want to check more after that, there's like, if you the first, so seasons 6 and 7 you'll see on YouTube. Seasons 1 to 5, it's the Past and the Curious, and you can get that on Amazon. So
There you go.
yeah,
Cool.
there you go.
So, is there anything else you want to add before we get
I,
into the
I,
comments?
I mean, hey, I got my 15 minutes of fame and my my couple picks, and I think I'm pretty much tapped out of ideas there, Carl.
There you go. My fame was early in my life. I had to like get up on stage and give Princess Charles a sweater my mom made when I was like 10. Early in my life.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I just want to add one more thing. When they say the camera puts on 10 pounds, well, it put on about 30, 40, 50 pounds for me. So,
yeah.
I'm just saying. But, all right. So, what do we want to do, Carl?
Well, I don't think I have anything else really to say about this week. Like, not that, like, I was just joking before the podcast started. I was like, we just did this show yesterday. I can't believe we're here again. So I'm ready to get into comments unless there's something you wanted to add.
No, that's it.
Okay. So Spotify from Tina Mack. She says, I'd be way too chicken to be our guest, but thanks. Hey, we want to put the offer out there just in case.
Yeah.
I get that. Another Sunday, more snow. Yeah, we talked about that. That's true. I gave you guys a shout out on a group last week. Hope you gained a few more new followers on YouTube. Actually, I noticed that. So thank you. Went up a few numbers.
Oh, did it? I'll check it out once we go there for comments.
I'm reorganizing this week. New shelves purchased. My least favorite part of reselling. I like buying shelves because then I know I'm going to organize things.
So is Tina Mac talking about shelves at home?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like,
But
because when she said shelves, I'm thinking, oh, maybe she has like a venue or something she sells out
I don't think so.
of. Okay.
I also purchased some extra large zippered moving totes for clothing. I like them better than bins. Oh yeah, it probably keeps the clothing inside cleaner too, I would guess. Um,
Zippered, maybe they hang up too, right? So the clothing can hang rather than sit.
oh yeah. Well, it says moving. It says moving totes, so
Oh, moving totes. Huh.
like them better than bins. Wish me luck. If you don't hear from me, I'm under my death pile buried. Yeah,
Wow.
we can't we can't throw stone because we're also buried under ours. So.
Well, Tina, thanks so much for the comment, but thanks for the shout out as well.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Anything else there, Carl?
Nope.
All
And
right.
I checked last week's. There's none there, so none extra.
Um. Well, we got Randy,
Yeah.
Nova Scotia Celt. Hi, Carl. I know everybody's mind works differently. Just Carl's mind works differently. I know. I beat you to the punch because you were going to say just Scott's mind works differently.
No, it's just funny because I asked ChatGPT. It's like like the saying like, well, how much did you pay for it? When people say, well, how much I ask, and people always say, how much did you pay for it? I've always said I hated that, because it doesn't go with my mindset. So I asked ChatGPT, and I won't go into it, but it actually explained why I think that way, and it's so good because it's like,
Well,
yes,
tell us.
what
Tell us.
it was saying. It's because I'm not worried about flipping stuff quick, or where I see them, where I'm trying to get the most value out of is actually my time and my attention, especially my attention span because of ADHD. That's actually my resource I'm in the lowest on, is that, which means I have to be a lot more pickier on the margins I'm getting because I can't count on myself to list more stuff or do more work. So that's the short version of it, but it went on and on. I'd have to read it again. I just remember the time going, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the way I think. You're the best, ChatGPT. You're my best friend.
Well, I asked ChatGPT why I think the way you're doing is because your IQ level is very high, Scott, and
Well, you know what they say. People who say their IQ levels are high.
have a big wiener.
Okay, we got distracted.
I'm gonna have to cut that out, Carl. You know what they say. Well,
You didn't cut anything out. I know that. When that little red light is on, don't say anything.
don't say anything.
Okay.
Uh, okay. I always hesitate to engage with people. Like to. Oh, hang on. My eyes are so blurry here right now from laughing. Um, I always hesitate to engage with people. Like to sell at flea market or negotiate with a seller, but I sort of changed my identity. Become a. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. My mind just was in the gutter there for a second, and I went. So I've got to refocus here, Randy. But I know what you're saying now. Um, yeah, I guess you change your personality. Like I'm really not one to go out and I don't have a problem with or large crowds or loud restaurants or anything. But I mean, I'd rather be at home, cook a steak on a barbecue, and I'm not. So, am I a people person? I don't know. Not I don't have a problem with people, but I'm more inclined to stay out. But you have when you go out to do a pick, you have to kind of change your mindset. You kind of have to be very personable, I guess.
Well, you can put a persona on, right? I honestly, I don't change at all. The only thing I might do is, I might be a little more. I try to be a little more reserved than I normally am because I can start kidding around with people way too quick,
Yeah,
and then they have the reaction I'm not expecting because so I have to. I'm a little careful, but who you see at the market, like if anyone ever comes to the market and sees me and talks to me, that's who I am.
yeah.
Really, like I'm not gonna be someone different.
Well,
But I get putting on a personality because you have to be. Well, you don't have to be, but it helps to be friendly to your customers.
yeah.
Like,
So
you
I
don't
was
be
just
like
I
Mr.
was gonna
Grump.
say that. Like, I don't think I put on a fake personality by any means, but I'm definitely one who would, try to make the best of a situation. Like I really like if someone passed away, I've been there. My dad passed away and we had to get rid of his stuff. So I sympathize for that. I understand that, but I don't want that to become the focal point of what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't want to become I don't want to say I'm desensitized to it, but I don't want it between us to become that part. Like cuz really I think they're ready to get rid of it when they're ready. You know what I mean? Like it took about a year before we even decided to even have a yard sale. It might have been little bit longer, like a year and a half.
There's definitely a delay. There can be a long delay before initial contact, I think,
Yeah,
and actual doing something.
and a lot of times when you do a private pick, you're there because they need help to get. They need it gone for whatever
Yeah.
reason. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I kind of feel that you're. I don't know. I'm really reading too much into this. I understand Brandy's point 100%, and I'm agreeing with him. I'm just saying kind of more of what you said, where you don't change who you are. Like I definitely don't change who I am. I bring out that side of me, which I usually don't. I'd rather just stay home. You know what I mean? But if I'm
Yeah.
coming out, if I'm going to like a wedding, like you're gonna see a happy, I'm glad to be there type personality. But it's not like I would be wanting to go to a wedding once a week. You know what I mean? Like once every 5 years is good.
I hate. I
Yeah,
can't stand them. Yeah.
you know. Um, but it's it. I hope I'm getting. I think I'm saying it correctly. I think you understand.
Yeah.
But
I like one-on-one conversations like I'll have in the booth or
but
one on
he's
two or three, but like anything big that drains me, right?
he's also making a point to you, Carl. Like if you want to go out and make most of that pick, and you're more of an introvert type person, maybe you have to bring that market Carl out. You know what I mean? At a
Yeah. I'm not.
private pick, you gotta
Yeah.
just be that guy. Don't worry about offending them. Just pivot. If you feel the person's offended for whatever reason, pivot from that. There's nothing about like I mean,
I'm never gonna offend
I would
someone.
avoid
Like,
it at all costs. But if someone becomes a little frustrated or maybe a little offended by something that is very unoffended saying, but maybe you joked around about something or whatever, there's nothing like you just pivot from it. But that could be your advantage if you throw them off a little bit. You know what I
nah,
mean?
that's not me. That's just not me. That's fine.
Well, but that's I'm not.
I
I'm
am
saying
outgoing, right?
and I know you only heard the last bit, but I'm going to
Right.
repeat what I said before. I wouldn't suggest this is your strategy,
Right.
but
Right.
if it happened, and you're like, oh my god, I think I just offended them. I think you can use that to your advantage a little bit too, right? Because they're going to be a little bit off, and then you just bring them right back to well, he's not such a bad guy. You know what I mean? Like just pivot really hard from there without like I would never get into apologizing or anything, but I'm just saying there's ways like it might have not have been a holy as long as they're not kicking you out of the house, Carl. Like you still have a
No,
chance.
and then when I mean offend, I mean like I'm too personal, and they're trying to keep it less personal, or less. But yeah, this is not a problem. Don't get me wrong. I'm just
Yeah,
saying I think I'm fairly good at reading people of their personality and how to talk to them. And there's some people you can start kidding with the second they meet, and there's some people you can know them for 50 years and you'll never kid with them, right? So
yeah,
you kind of learn, but because like I'm not worried about outgoing because obviously I've been doing YouTube forever.
yeah.
I've always,
That's what I mean. And you love to
I'm,
go socialize and talk to people at the booth. Bring that
or
with you.
yeah,
Bring that with you to a pick and see what
oh yeah,
happens.
it's not a problem.
Okay.
I have lots of problems. That ain't one, right?
Yeah, it
But,
just sometimes I feel like I'm only going by what Randy says as well, but sometimes I feel like you hold yourself back a little bit because you don't want to offend someone.
Well, I don't want to offend people. Like that
Right.
is what I'm worried about. Like especially when it comes to pricing or rejecting items or stuff like that. But that's going to come with experience just because I haven't had a lot of experience in private picks. I've only done one,
Oh,
right?
okay. I feel like you've
So
done more, but just one.
no, I've only done one private pick.
Because the way I look at it too is I don't go out intentionally to offend anyone, so I'm never looking at that as a possibility. Like it doesn't even enter my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're just different.
Like I don't think I'm being offended by saying, "Oh my god, you threw all that stuff out. That was probably the good stuff. That's probably the stuff I wanted." I'll say that to them. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and because I even said it at this pick, I'm like, I said, "Oh, you threw stuff out," and I said sometimes people don't find the value on the stuff they threw out, and that's really the collectible, valuable stuff. And the woman said, "Yeah, we know, but we just had to get through it. There was so much stuff here." And I said, "I understand." I said, "We did the same thing when my dad passed away, and I regret that because I want to know what we actually threw away." I said, "But I hear this story all the time, right? Like that's
It's
what
a very common story. Yeah. And
it's a
there's no
common
lie
story.
in there. It's all truth. Yeah.
It's all truth." And but I wanted to let them know that you know, like that's the stuff that I probably like. I don't know if if the guy was very close to them, which all indications said that they weren't super close, right? But if he was a really close person and they were really upset, I wouldn't have said anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were fine. And then the guy's going on and he's talking about the guy's life, and I love listening to that story. So for me to listen to the story of the person that's there, I'm not like, oh my god, get me out of here. I enjoy listening to that, and I
No,
think
I love getting to know people. Right. Yeah.
right, like to know what this guy did through his life and what led him to this type of collecting and all that kind of stuff. And once you start listening, and I don't know, it just it. I think the whole experience. We always talk about, and I'm kind of rambling on here, but we always talk about the stuff we get and what the score was. But at the same time, and I know I'm kind of contradicting myself because I don't go out, but I really enjoy going out to these picks and meeting the people. And I'm not nervous about it at all. You know what I mean? I mean, what's the worst they're going to do? Is just kick you out? You know what I mean? Like, never happened. But I'm excited to let's see what this guy was into. Let's see what this person had collected. You know what I mean? Like, that's always exciting. But at the same time, it's the overall experience has always been fun.
Yep.
I've I don't even know how to explain it properly because to me there's never shouldn't say never. There might have been something that I'm just not thinking at the hand, but for the most part, it's there's not been a bad experience. Other than maybe there was just nothing there. But I mean like I've never had an issue with anyone at all. Like even the first pick this week, like I'm standing in the doorway for 20 minutes talking to the guy, and I'm like, well, my truck's running, everything's packed up, like I gotta go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, but we left there on really good terms. Like they were happy. So I don't know. I kind of rambled on there. I don't know. Uh see, Randy got us on this.
Yeah.
You should try that. Go from Clark Kent to Sherman. Oh, Superman. Sorry. When doing a pick. My last name's Sherman. So anyway, I thought it was much funnier in my head when I
It
said
was.
it out loud. It wasn't as funny. Only don't wear the cape and tights. Wow.
Why not?
Because then you will get kicked out. Don't come back. No, I agree. I agree, Randy. And we're only going by your words, Carl. I don't know what happens when you're there.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you always talk about being nervous. You always talk about like not sure what to say and all this kind of stuff. And
I can be
so,
nervous, but not be nervous when I'm there.
okay,
Right? Because it's like when I'm there, I'm not gonna be like, oh, blah, blah, I'm scared of asking you, but like I'm just talking about like I like being prepped, like, and I've always said too, the the thing I'm trying to get over is I don't know the values of everything before I go. I don't have 7 or 8 years of booth experience, and a
Yeah,
lot of
but
this stuff is booth experience because like when I'm like a lot of the stuff I got from my last private pick is all booth stuff. In fact,
yeah,
I don't even know if I put anything online from that, right? And the one thing I've always said about the booth for the last year and a half is it's been really hard to figure out what actually sells there and for what, how much, right? And but I know, as you've talked about too, sometimes you'll pick up a bunch, think you've got a bad buy, and then you found something really good in there, right? And you didn't even recognize it at the time, which is kind of part of the fun too.
yeah, for sure. And sometimes like I was up front with them. I'm like, guys, there's so much stuff here. I said, I don't even know what some of this stuff is. It's like stuff I've never seen before. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So I can't. I don't know exactly 100% of what everything is worth. If you want some stuff taken out of here, I can help you with that. But I'm not going to sit here and look everything up. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we just go through it. Here's what I'm comfortable with. I got to emphasize the good, but also emphasize the bad. Like this is great stuff. I've not seen it before, but it's railroad stuff. I enjoy it. But dude, I gotta, you know how much cleaning I gotta do to each piece here? Like it's a wet cloth, brush the dirt off. It's not a big deal, but make it sound like it's troublesome. You know what I mean? Like there's more here to it than what they're thinking. So if they're thinking here and I got to go here to kind of have them come up and see this level, you know what I mean?
yeah. People
That's kind of where I,
simplify things in their minds for sure, right?
yeah,
You know, and we've all seen, and you've talked about even the show, people looking up asking prices on eBay and thinking their stuff in perfect condition and thinking that's what their stuff is worth, right? And sometimes that battle is not even doable, right?
yeah.
Like it's like you're so off that you were asking for 200 and I was thinking $5. Like we're never going to meet, but
And,
uh, that doesn't
and
happen too often. So
yeah, and a lot of times if they have something that they think is worth a lot of money, just don't get it because everything else just say, well, we'll come back to it a little bit. I
that
got to think about that because I don't even really know. You know what I
one
mean?
thing, one thing that you said that stuck in my mind is the best stuff is usually the stuff they think they have no interest in at all. The extra stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff they mention to you is probably the stuff that you actually don't want, right? Uh, but I just don't like. I guess like I said, I've only done one, so I'm still getting a lot of experience. I just don't want to be seen as an appraiser. Uh, and
Then don't appraise. Don't even bring that into the conversation.
no, I wouldn't. But I don't want to be seen as like. But I'm verbalizing my inner thoughts here. I'm not like as obsessed with this stuff as it might sound like. It's just things I think about before going into these situations,
Okay.
especially considering I'm not experienced, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, that first weekend I was at the booth sitting there, it was nerve wracking. Not nerve wracking, but, you know, I don't do garage sales, right? So it was a weird experience for me. Or so
That
much
would
so at the first auction I went to.
that would
My
have been a
heart was,
weird experience for me as well. I agree.
yeah. Or when my first auction bidding, my heart was pounding. And now I'm like, whatever, right? But it took a while from heart pounding to whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, thank you,
Um.
Randy.
Thanks, Randy.
I'll do next one from Carverman Salish.
Okay. So
Another
yeah.
great podcast, gents. First time I was on, I had to use my Apple phone because of issues with laptop, but this time I used my new laptop and it worked fine. Yes, it did.
Yeah.
So.
You work totally fine. Yeah, except for you left too early. We're going to talk to you at the end of the show, but you
Yeah, I was
left.
making fun of him for that. Yeah.
Yeah. We got Randy here. Hey guys, it appears YouTube has ate my comment again. Oh, so he did.
I did look. I didn't see it even with the like sort by new or anything.
Okay.
So who knows? It's gone.
I did watch the comment on last week's show. It seems to happen when I am the first to post a comment. Huh. Well, we apologize to anybody who's posting comments. Like I don't delete anything. So that sucks. Was wondering if you had enough gossip magazines, National Enquirer, Midnight, etc., for your other channel. I got enough to get me through till next week, but I ordered more, so I have 2 orders coming in for February 3rd. They should be here. So I'll get them just in time. But the National Enquirers actually didn't have as much of the articles I wanted. I wanted a little bit more alien stuff, Bigfoot stuff. So I ordered some magazines that is all that, but they're considered tabloids at the same time. Um, Still a little upset that so I think what it is the ones that I had before was a lot of News Weekly or something like that. I think News Weekly was when I went through the internet. News Weekly seemed to have a lot of those kind of stories, and I think it's News Weekly, something to that effect, or Weekly News or something. Um, so I was about to order some of them, and then I found some really good ones. So they're probably even more full of shit, but they're still going to be fun, you know. But if you look at the channel, the last three episodes, I've kind of found my rhythm for now, and voices and stuff like that. So I think what is there 14, 15 as of today, Wednesday, shows up. Um, Probably the last four um, are kind of in that in line with how I want the show to look. Um, so anyway, yeah, that's a long-winded way to say I should have enough based on what I've ordered for
Yeah.
magazines. And thanks for asking, Randy. Right now I'm not in it because of editing and all this kind of stuff. But if the show was start to take off a little bit, and I makes sense to put more time into it, I think there may be a spot, or maybe once a week. I haven't decided yet where I would come on and talk about it. I also started putting it on to Spotify, where I'm taking 6 shows or 5 shows, 5 or 6 shows, um, grouping them together so that it gets over the 30-minute mark, and then playing them on Spotify. Same channel. So you're just gonna get a run of where my shows now are 4.5 minutes to kind of 6.5 minutes, that kind of range. You're just gonna get 5 or 6 of them in a row on that show. So because Spotify is pretty easy, and I already did the work.
Yeah, right.
So it's not video, it's audio, but same idea. I think it's more of an audio show, anyways. To be honest.
Yeah, sometimes you have a bit of video, but sometimes it's just like a picture and you just rotate around the picture.
Yeah. Well, what I've done now, getting back to AI, um, so I'll say create an image based on this story, because I read into it, copy it. I read into it and then have it put into. I say, I just want to be transparent on this. Keep the wording basically the same, but tweak necessary spot to make it flow nicely for the
Mm.
audience.
Hmm.
Copy and paste it, then I'll get the AI voice to go into it. So it has the story in its system. So then I'll say create an image based on this story, and then I'll pick a small part of that image, and then I'll have it. It's called Ken Burns, but it expands or contracts. You decide, but I have it pointed to a certain part of the picture, and then as the story is told, it expands and it starts capturing different parts of that image based on where we are in the story. So it's almost like a moving picture, like a movie, like a film, but
Yeah,
it's just one picture,
right.
and I don't have to do a lot of editing. Like
See, there we go.
that's the whole purpose. Um, and then I'll have it do me a thumbnail, which I think the thumbnails are probably the best thing
Yeah.
of all, is the thumbnails, which is important, right? You want that
Yep.
hook. So
Draw them in.
yeah, draw them in like fish. But it's going to take a while. I just found my the icon that I want, avatar, is that the right? My image for the show, like a badge, or
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that, Carl, the new one.
No, but
Yeah, it's changed. Like I say, the last few shows are where that's coming into. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got.
sweet.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for everyone for listening again.
You're welcome. That was AI. That was ChatGPT. You're welcome.
My best friend.
Carl, can you come and play with me today? Oh, what? Imagine, wait till that starts happening.
Oh, be it with VR glasses, then we're never
I
coming
don't
back
even
out.
know. I'm just saying, your computer. You walk in the room. Hey, Carl, come over here. Come on over here.
That'd be very convenient. Anywho. Okay, let's kill this thing.
All right. What are we? Nothing else, then, Carl?
Nope.
All right. Thank everybody for talking to us. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
All right. I'll say it properly.
Okay.
Have a good week, Carl. Hope you sell lots, buy lots. Have a good week, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Bye, everyone.